Welcome along. So in this video I'm going to show you how to promote a music video on YouTube, and there's two different ways you can do it. The first way is in YouTube, the second is via Google Ads, and you're going to need a Google Ads account regardless, so if you haven't got one of those, then set one of those up. And if you search just literally for Google Ad account, £75 credit, often you can find a voucher that gives you essentially free advertising, £75 worth, so it's worth checking that out, see if it's active at this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it via YouTube. So you come into YouTube, you go into your video, your content, you find the video you want to promote, and if you hover over it, you see these three lines. So click on that and click promote. And that will take you to this page, which is effectively the back door into Google Ads. So you click get started, and from there you've got some options you can work through. So first of all, do you want to focus on driving video views and traffic to a website, so off YouTube, or engagement and views on your channel? So I'm going to click on this one, and I think honestly YouTube ads work best when, in fact ads for anything really work best when you're keeping them on the platform. So that's what you want to do. This is the video we're going to promote. You can obviously choose which kind of thumbnail you want of that particular video, but I'm just going to stick on the one we've got there. You can write a headline, so it could be, discover our new single X. It's out now on Spotify, taken from the album Y. Okay. Now at the bottom here you can see a little note which says you can use or switch to expert mode, and I always recommend you can do this because it gives you just a few more options when it comes to targeting. So you might not always see this, but if you've got the option, click on it. So let's do that. Let's go into expert mode, and now we're going to choose our objective. So this is what the campaign is going to be optimized to deliver against. So we want to click on brand awareness and reach, and then option is video, which means it's going to run on YouTube. And then we've got a couple of different options. Again, we're going to stick on video reach campaign, that's what we're trying to do. And we're going to click on efficient reach, which is a combination of bumper, skippable, and in-stream or a mix. And so we're going to click continue. And then you've got your objective at the top, campaign name, and this is really just for you, so you don't lose track of what you're doing. If you're running several campaigns, you want to make sure you know which one's which. The bid strategy is target CPM, so kind of cost per thousand, so the cheapest number of video views that YouTube can deliver. So you can choose your budget, so you can have a campaign total or a daily total. I'm going to do daily, and I'm going to do £5 per day, and it's probably useful to do an end date as well. That way, if for any reason you forget about it, you're not going to spend a crazy amount of money. So it's going to run for sort of 4 or 5 days. Network, so where does the advert run? I'm going to just click off this one here, video partner, so it's just on YouTube only. Then you get a choice of countries, so where do you want it to run? Now you can put in as many as you want. I'm going to just stick to kind of, I would say, tier 1 countries of the UK, US, Ireland, Canada, Australia. You could put South America, you could put European countries in here as well. Every country will have a slightly different ad cost, so reaching people in Poland will probably be cheaper than targeting people in the US. Personally, the choices of countries here are going to be dictated by where I think my music is most likely to land, not by where it's just cheapest. I think there's a thing that's such as vanity views. If they're no value to your career, then I would suggest there's really no point paying for them. But I know lots of people just want to get a big number. If that is the case, then I would definitely put in places like Malaysia, India, all those kind of places where you'll find advertising is cheap and views will be high, but not something I would recommend. Languages, so I'm going to stick to English, but again, if you're targeting other countries, you might want to start putting French, Italian, etc. in there. Inventory, you can just keep it on standard and keep these bits as they are. Related videos, what it allows you to do is almost put in videos of other ads on your site. So it could be the sort of thing of if you like this, you might also like that. So you can paste in a couple of other ads like this, and oops, and there we go. So done. And then it comes into ad groups. So ad groups, basically you could have lots of different ad groups. You could have an advert targeting new music fans, and in the same ad you could also have a second ad group for existing fans, or you could split it out by genre or other bands. There's lots of different things you could do. For now we're just going to have one ad with one ad group, and that's going to be targeting new fans. Keep it really simple. Oops. So let's just do that. Demographics, you want to be pulling from other data sources. So if you know from your Spotify that people who listen to your music are normally 25 to, let's say, 54, then you just untick the others around them. Parental status, income, I don't think really has any impact on music listenership, so leave that. Demographics is the key one. You could, if you really thought that your music only appeals to male or female, you could just untick one of those, but obviously I'm going to keep that as it is. And then you've got some options. Let's start with audience segments. So this is kind of groups of people, segments on YouTube already, segmented by what they're watching. So I'm going to try and find, so we've got here Indian rock fans, that's perfect. Let's have a look down here. Music lovers, yeah, that's great as well. Depending on your genre, obviously you could choose lots of different ones. You get the idea. Alternative music, let's do that, and let's do indie music as well. Right, so that gives us our kind of our base. These are the people who are most likely to be into our music, and we can click on this expansion, which is reaching out beyond those groups if YouTube thinks it would make sense. Now there's also a couple of other different ways you could target: keywords, topics, and placements. Personally, I think if you're promoting businesses, keywords and topics become really important. Less so for musicians, I think, personally. If you're promoting an event, again, that could be really good for topics, or you're trying to place an ad around an event, something like, I don't know, the Olympics or a certain TV show, then that could be something really useful for you. But generally speaking, I think I would avoid those two for now. Placements is interesting. We're not going to use it on this particular ad, but I'm just going to show you how it would work. So let's say you sound a lot like Radiohead. What you can actually do is just run your ads on channels which feature Radiohead content, for example. You could also do the same on videos. So if you wanted your ad to appear in front of Creep, or No Surprises, or in Rainbows, any of these videos, and there's obviously tons of them, you could just literally go down and select these out. What you find is obviously the moment you do that, it becomes much more targeted, and the volume of impressions available just decreases quite dramatically. So 430,000, which is still a lot. But if I clear all of those, you see it jumps back to 7.3 billion. So personally, at the start, when you're just trying to get some reach for your video, I would keep that as broad. So you've got your audience targeting in terms of those segments on YouTube. That's what you're going to focus on. So then you would just get your video you want to promote, pop it in there, and because we're driving people to a channel, the final URL is the same. It becomes the display URL, and that's all you need to do. So you can just name your ad, again, purely for your own purposes. So this is video intro, for example, whatever you want to call it. It could be the name of the video, and then that's pretty much what you need to do. The only other thing you need to do is your target CPM. So this is YouTube works on a kind of a bidding system. It will bid for the cheapest possible views. So let's just put £3.50 in there as a kind of guide, and what it should happen is it should give you, for some reason it's not, let's just try a different price, it makes any difference. It should give you a kind of guide price. Now what this means is you're not going to pay £5 for 1,000 views, but it will bid under it, and normally kind of, I would say it's up to about £3.20 or something like that. So it's not loading for some reason at the moment, but yeah, put £5 in there. You could try different prices. You can try £3.50 if you want, and then hit create campaign, and that will get it running. Sometimes it might take 24 hours or so to run, and you can obviously log into your dashboard and you can see if the ad is running. So there's nothing running here at the moment, which is why it's blank, but that's all you need to do. Okay, so that is how you create a video campaign in YouTube to promote a music video.